Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be very different than what I normally do because I'm not reviewing anything. I am going to be telling you and sharing with my experience about buying a Tesla, the things we did, and the things you should know before buying a Tesla. So let's go. Okay, so for reference, June 24th, our Tesla Model Y got delivered. We ordered it in white with third row seating, no other bells or whistles on it, not even the full self-driving service, which is an extra $10,000. And I was like, no. The model I currently have in my hand is a Model 3. If you're not familiar with it, now you are. The dealership gave this to us. They actually gave us 3 for each of the kids. But yeah, anyway, super cute, don't you think? Just know, as a disclaimer, if you want red, it's going to cost you an extra couple $1,000s depending on the color car you want. So which model of Tesla do you really want? The biggest thing to do is actually go to the dealership and kind of sniff out which model you're feeling. Are you more attracted to one model than the other? It might surprise you. I thought I wanted the Model 3. I ended up liking the Model Y so much better because of the third row seating option, because I've got 3 kids and my kids fight. But why wouldn't they fight? They're kids. You're really going to want to determine whether you want the short range or the long range. With how much I drive, we opted for the long range, which is 325 miles, or you can get the short range, which I believe sits around 265 if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Sound off in the comments below and let me know. Also, keep in mind when determining short range versus long range, sitting in traffic and weather conditions can also determine the range of the battery. For instance, we live in the very far we live in the north, and the battery can deplete anywhere from 10 to 20% in the wintertime. I am so sorry, I forgot to put my ears on the beginning of this video. How are you going to charge it? Now, a lot of people are like, oh, I'll just go to a supercharger. Let me stop you right there. Obviously, the Tesla supercharger is the most common because people think supercharger, Tesla. There's different types of superchargers out there, and there are tons of free chargers. Let me explain. If you go to plugshare.com, which I am not affiliated with them in any way, so don't come for me, it will show you thousands upon thousands of free chargers, but these are not superchargers, even though you can find superchargers on the app, but most of them are free chargers. A lot of these free chargers are only going to give you upwards of maybe 5 miles per 1 hour of charging. Means if you charge for 60 minutes, you're only going to get a range of 5 miles, literally. The most I've seen is 5. A lot of the colleges and universities up here do 1. And to me, that is legitimately not even worth going or taking the car there. Yes, superchargers obviously would be the best option because that only makes logical sense if you desperately need a charge on your vehicle. Also, these other superchargers that are out there, you will need their specific adapter because the adapter that comes with the Tesla when you buy it is only really for the free ones. The other supercharger that I went to that I thought was a Tesla supercharger, it wasn't. It was like a neon green. I have no idea what it's called because it didn't really have a name to it. The face of the charger itself, the adapter that I would have needed was like this huge. It's ridiculous. And you have to attach it and then you plug it into the Tesla. And it's like, what? Moving on. This, I think, is a very, very important one because a lot of people really wouldn't think about this until after they've already purchased the vehicle. How much is it going to cost you in insurance? Ding, ding, ding. Call your insurance company before you even sign paperwork and find out how much extra your insurance would go up. It might be high, it might not be that bad. Ours only went up by a few bucks a month. But again, we pay monthly on ours. I don't know if it would depend if you pay every 3 months, every 6 months, or in full for the year. And I also think it depends on the insurance company and your driving record. But I think this is one of the most important ones before you put pen to paper and sign everything. Now, after you call your insurance company, call the bank that you want to work with. 9 times out of 10, they will give you a better financing option than Tesla will. But in this process, get a pre-approval first and find out how long you want to stretch your loan out for. These Tesla car payments are not cheap. They are high. And I highly, highly, highly recommend that you get and even see if you can get a pre-approval first because of a debt to income ratio. And I could not even begin to tell you how many other military wives I have talked to, or just a couple other people in general, that say they want a Tesla, but they didn't think to call and get the pre-approval first to even see if they would qualify for a more expensive car or a more cheaper model, because the price range between the Model 3 and the Model Y, there's a significant price difference there. But as a precaution, I highly would recommend that you call and get the pre-approval first, because like I had just stated, you can determine how long you want to stretch your loan out for. Some people might want to do 3 years, but your car payment is going to be higher and your interest rate is probably going to be way, way higher. The longer we stretched our loan out, it was kind of weird. When we wanted to go I think we could finance for up to 6 or 7 years with Navy Federal. I want to say it was closer to 6 though. The car payment was down, but the interest rate was like through the roof here. But when we stretched it to 5 years, I think it's 5. Yeah, 5 years. The car payment was here, but the interest rate had come down, and we're like, how does that work? I don't know. I'm not the, brightest color crane in the box. Luckily, the guy explained it to us over the phone. Duh. Anyway, get the pre-approval first. One of the last huge reasons that we chose the Model Y was for third row seating. Now, don't get it confused with the Model X. The Model X is over $100,000. Hell no, I was not about to buy that thing. Like, for what reason? Because it's got falcon doors. A lot of people call them suicide doors, but they're actually called falcon doors. But anyway, back to the original reason. We actually got third row seating because I have 3 children. My son is autistic, if you've been following me for a while. If you haven't, hi, how are you? I do have a special needs little boy who is autistic, and him and his older sister can fight quite a bit, but him and the younger one get along. They're siblings. They're not always going to get along, but him and the little one don't fight as much as the bigger one. The bigger one, actually, my daughter, sits in the third row. My son's seat is moved forward a little bit. I'll do a whole nother video on how the kids look in the car and, just a tour of the car in a later video. And let me know what you want to see in the comments down below from that video, and I'll do it. But, so my 3-year-old sits behind me. My son sits behind the passenger seat, and then my oldest sits in the third row. And again, I'll do a whole tour of that. But he has a special needs harness, which I have actually done in a previous video prior to this, a couple of videos ago. And you'll be able to see the harness. And I've actually had to mix that harness with another thing that I had to do, which works in conjunction to give him a 5-point harness, because he can slip out from underneath and it's just a mess sometimes. Even though he can have anger issues and bang on the window, and I'm hoping one day he doesn't bang out the windows. I know that sounds harsh, but it's just It's just the reality of my world that I live in with him. So I do try and keep him happy and as calm as possible, even though I know that's really inevitable. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the quick personal reason why we decided to get it. I have a 2015 Toyota Sienna, which again is in that previous video of the harness I just talked about. And that vehicle currently has over 111,000 miles on it. Now, we did buy it used 3 years ago from Toyota. That was a previous couple who were leasing it, and it's got a DVD player in it for long range and stuff like that. I am so sorry. I just had a brain fart there for a second, so I had to take a second and regroup. Anyway, so with my van, I was spending on average $350 a month on gasoline, which is, I think, insane. But with how much I drive, I'm like kind of in a vicious circle between therapy sessions at the end of the day and gymnastics and stuff like that, and with school starting. So yes, on average, $350 a month. And we're just like, we can charge at home for this price, and it would be so much cheaper, which it was, and which I will go into detail about the electrical bills, which you will see literally right behind me here, because I have spanned this over the course of a month to give you the insight on the electricity bill, and you're going to be very, very surprised at what's going on. So again, personal range for gas. I don't pay for gas anymore. I haven't for over a month now. I take that back. I filled up one time and it was $48 to fill up my van. That's cray to me. But anyway, I will do that in a follow-up video passing this. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my others and sound off in the comments below what you want to know about my Tesla and everything else in between next. Bye!